like this. People come here and they don't get visas. And you got two? Please come and touch me. Let me tap to your blessing. Let me tap into your blessing. Let me tap into...
Hi, my name is Cookie and you're welcome to my channel. If this is not your first time, thanks so much for supporting me. Thanks so much for coming back to my channel. Today's video, I remembered something that happened to me like a while back when I was still applying for my visa, and no, when I already applied for my visa, and I thought, oh, this is actually a cool story to tell you guys. So I decided to not be too serious with you guys and just come and tell you guys, like, gist you basically. So if you want to hear about how I got like 2 visas when I applied for just one, stay tuned. To proceed and start telling this story, I have a glass of apple juice to, ginger me, give me the sugar amount I need. Sugar amount. But okay, yeah. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so your girl applied for like a visa. Now I applied for a student visa to the UK, and like everything was cool, calm. Like I prayed, like I was like, oh God, please, let me just get this visa, let me go. I was not waiting for these people to reply me like, okay, I've applied. I paid for priority because I was late. School was going to start in January, and like I hadn't applied in December, right? So I started doing everything in January, so it was cramped up. Don't be like me. So I paid for priority and everything. First of all, the priority took longer than I expected. It took a while. It took more than like it should have taken. So I think they took an extra week aside from like what they should have given me. Then I finally got like the text message, oh, your visa is ready, come and pick up your visa at the TLS office. First of all, okay, before I even like went to the visa office, before I got the text message to come and pick up my visa, school had already, like the school I applied to had already emailed me saying, oh, they had gotten my, I forget now what it was, but they had gotten something. But your school can't get that thing unless you already have a visa. Does that make sense? So I already knew in my heart that, okay, I've gotten this visa. But that thing in you that is still like, oh, I'm not really sure. Let me just see it with my 2 eyes first, then I will rejoice, that kind of thing. So I didn't really tell my friends. I didn't really tell anybody when school emailed me. I just said, when I see the visa, then hey, I can now share the good news with people, right? I got to the embassy and everything. I stood in line, very humble. You know how when you enter the embassy, you're just going to be like very humble, your most humble self. You're going to try to be as calm as possible, right? So that was me. Now I got there, I collected my passport, and like I didn't open it because they give it to you in like sealed bags. So I didn't open it now till I went down. I came with my cousin, she dropped me, but she also waited for me in the car, right? So I got into the car and we're like, oh God, oh God, oh God, okay, let's open it now, let's open it. As we got there, I didn't want to open it by myself, so she opened it for me, tried to trick me, the normal thing you do to somebody that like is scared, and I'd be like, oh, you didn't get it. But then she was like, don't mind me, you got it. And then we rejoiced, we're like, thank God, blah blah blah, right? So that was what, like, it was just that. But me, I decided to start, like, we were still parked at the visa office, so we hadn't even driven out or anything like that, right? Thank God for that. So we were now like scrolling, like I was now scrolling through my passport. I was like, oh thank God though. So me, I'm really traveling, so me, I'm really relocating, all that good stuff, right? I was just swiping and swiping. Next thing, I was like, hold up, like there's another visa here. What? And she was like, what do you mean there's another visa? And I was like, there's another visa here. Like, we swiped, and then I opened the 2 pages, and then I showed her the first one, and then I showed her the second one. Then we said, okay, maybe it's the same one, they just pasted it twice, right? And then we started checking. So the serial numbers were not the same, but every other thing was the same, my name, everything. So it means that they counted it as another visa that they had like granted, something like that, right? So it means that it could be 2 different people with the same name, something like that, because it was 2 different serial numbers. So me, I got scared. I started panicking. I was like, God, what's all this? I've prayed and prayed, like, God, I don't want any issues, blah blah blah. So we're like, okay, right, like let's call somebody and ask, like, what do you think we should do? So bear in mind, the person we called was not even like, doesn't work in the embassy or anything like that. It was just like an adult. And so we called her, and then we're like, oh, what should we do? Like, we're really like stressed, blah blah blah. And she was like, come back now. Did they not grant you the visa? They gave you the visa, so like just come back home and like go with like the one they gave you. Obviously, like they know it was a mistake, blah blah blah. And like we thought about it, and then I was like, on second thought, let me just go upstairs, right, and just tell them, since we're still here, let me go upstairs and tell them that you guys gave me 2 visas, right? And so I go back upstairs. If you know how TLS office is in Abuja, you know that there's a lot of like, you have to pass through security, then go up the elevator, then pass through another security, then sit down before you. So I had to do all that again. Really not a big deal, but you know, for context. So I get upstairs, and then the security man is like, ah, auntie, you're back again. And I was like, yeah. And I went into the guy that gave me my passport initially, and I was like,
Hi, sorry, excuse me, there's a bit of a problem.
I was talking so humbly. Like, even me, I didn't even believe how like small I was talking. Like, I was just very calm, because you can't ginger for visa people before they refuse to give you. So like me, I was like,
Oh, I'm sorry, I think there's been a mistake here.
and bear in mind, you guys, my flight was literally the day after the next day. So like, let's say I went there on a Wednesday, my flight was on like a Friday. So I was like,
Oh, I already booked my flight, it's for Friday, I can't change it, it's a morning flight, and like, you know, please help me rectify this, blah blah blah.
and then he goes,
oh, okay, this never happens. We might have to send your passport back to the UK, because it's in the head office that they do this type of things, rectify this type of errors, and it might not take one day.
me, my man, I'm like, what do you mean? Excuse me, sir, I don't really get. I do not understand. And he goes,
Oh, you know, I don't know what I can do for you, but just sit down for a while and then I'll get back to you.
me in my mind, I'm like, this guy, don't try me, please, I beg. Like, just go to your boss, tell them to call the head office. They don't need to physically take my passport back, especially since you guys already wasted all this time, if you get what I mean. Like, obviously, like, I didn't say that in my mind. I was saying it in my mind, but outwardly I was like, oh yeah, please, you know, please, like, please. I was being so like humble, I was being so calm, because I don't want stories. Like, I didn't want stories before they say, oh, we're no more giving you. In fact, we saw something else. I know that's highly unlikely, but I still thought about it. Okay, so I sat down for a while, and then the security woman, you know, I was obviously distressed. I was in distress. You could see it on my face, you could see it on my body. I was really tired. I was exhausted. I almost started crying. Like, I was so fed up. Like, I had it up to here. And the security lady was like,
Oh, auntie, like, what's up? What's wrong with you? Like, are you good? Are you okay? What's your problem?
and I was like,
Oh, ma, like, they gave me 2 visas. Like, I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. My flight is next tomorrow, and he's saying they have to send it back.
I basically started lamenting to a total stranger, but she was like a woman, so it just felt natural. It just felt like she actually cared about what I was saying. To be fair, like, I can't rate my judgments now, but as of then, it felt genuine, right? So she goes,
Ah, auntie, that's what you're saying for like this. People come here and they don't get visas, and you got 2. Please come and touch me. Let me tap to your blessing. Let me tap into your blessing. Let me tap into.
and then like I actually started laughing, because I could not hold it in. Like, I was actually angry, but the way she just handled the whole thing just made me start laughing, and I felt really silly for like being upset at it, even though it was a big deal and honestly could have cost me like more money that I did not have. So like, I was really like, I started laughing, and like, that was sort of how it went. She was like, oh, you know, don't be sad, you know, this is a blessing, thank God really did it for you. He did it double. He said, oh, you even go twice, all those type of things. And it really made me like feel a bit better. I was a bit calm. I was like, in my mind, I started thinking like, oh God, is this how much I like petitioned you? Is this how much I disturbed you? Because let me tell you guys, during my visa process, I was on edge. Like, I was literally always praying. I was like, God, please, I beg. Every night, I'm like, God, any spirit that said I will not get this visa, any spirit that said that I will not travel to their abroad and relocate out of this Buhari's country. Listen, you guys, that's how deep I was. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I wanted to go. Like, period. Like, I was already in their abroad in my mind. So I needed my visa to correlate and join me real quick. So like, after she did that, I was calm, and then the guy now called me. He now called me inside and was like, oh, you know, I think there might be a bit of a problem. I don't know that we'll be able to get it out for you before next tomorrow, but I'm going to try my best. You know, I'm going to call you. You know, he was like, you're going to come by 10 a.m. the next day. So he was like, today is Wednesday, right? He was like, you're going to come by 10 a.m. on Thursday, and if he's not ready by 10 a.m. on Thursday, then we'll have to like wait an extra week, something like that. That's how I entered another prayer mode. It became a different prayer point. It was like, God, I know you're showing off with this visa that you're giving me, but God, I beg, please help me. Like, just fix it, Lord Jesus, fix it. And like, I just said it like that in my mind, and I settled it in my mind, and I left, right? The next day before it was 10, I already got there. Immediately it was 10, I was already in front of his table. I got to the guy's table, and then he was like,
oh, okay, yeah, take this. We were able to rectify it. Take this.
And I was like, okay, thank you so much. And then they start telling a story that, oh, thank your stars that you came here. Oh, bear in mind, they weren't telling me this thing when I was complaining. It was after they had rectified it, they started telling me, oh, thank your stars that you came here. There was a lady that got her visa since like let me just say, I don't remember, but he was trying to say there was a lady that got her visa since like October, and then she was going to travel in February the next year or something like that, and you know, her visa was like peeling a bit, so they didn't flatten it out. When they grant you a visa, they sort of like stick something onto a page of your passport. So he was like that the thing wasn't like flat on her passport. There was a part sticking up, and the woman just thought, oh, it was the visa people that did it, like it's not my issue. And then she traveled, and when she got to the UK border, like when she got to immigration border in the UK at the airport in Heathrow, they were like, hello miss ma'am, get out, go back to your country. And the woman was like, I don't understand, I paid for this visa a long time ago, what does that mean, blah blah blah, all those type of things. The thing about it is, I was not about to take chances. In my mind, I was like, so why didn't you guys tell me this type of thing happened before? Why were you people acting crazy when I came back and asked that you guys rectify it? And it just really dawned on me that people will try to tell you that, oh, it's cool, it's calm, but if you know something like within yourself, just go there and rectify it. Because if they make a mistake, they are not going to want to like take responsibility for it, at least not without a fight. So you have to go there, and even if it means you like nicely asking, like, or being overly humble to ask for something, do it. Because don't take chances. They are going, like, listen, in this country they will chase you back. They don't want to hear anything. Like, so that was like sort of what happened. Like, he gave me back and they told me this story, and so I was like, okay, cool, thank you so much, like I really appreciate blah blah blah. I hadn't opened it by then, bear in mind. And so I go back to the car as usual. My cousin was waiting for me in the car. I go back to the car and we're like, okay, let's see like what happened. Did they tear out the page? Did they put a stamp? Did something happen? You guys, I opened my visa, I opened my passport, opened my visa page, and then it was literally, they used a ruler with red pen to make an X on the visa. I didn't sleep that night. Like, I literally had a difficult time sleeping. I kept on tossing and turning. For you people to use red pen and draw X on a page, Oga, you could not draw X when I was talking to you on Wednesday or what? Like, I don't really get. I don't follow. It was really stressful to me. Like, now I can laugh about it, but if I remember that day, it was actually so stressful. It was like, you really gave me heartache for you to draw an X. I know that they probably called like Home Office, or they probably called like the visa people here and talked to them and told them that, oh, this is an error, blah blah blah, and cancelled it off of their system. But I'm like, these things were things that could have easily been rectified as I was there. They just had to let me go home, suffer the heartache, and then, you know, stress myself. Anyways, you guys, this is the end of the story. This is basically it. Like, there's no big deal to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I hope it wasn't boring, and like, yeah, like, I will see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share it, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.